Bienvenue! Welcome to MotoMonaco. Round 8 of the Moto3 World Championship season took place at the Sachsenring circuit in the Saxony area of eastern Germany. The German motorcycle Grand Prix round saw the return of the only winner of a Moto3 World Championship round apart from Alex Rins, Maverick Vinales and Lewis Salom. Kevin Camelot returned to the RW Racing GP team for his third outing this season, and we caught up to him before that weekend.
Yeah, I'm back with the VW Racing team. I can't wait, and I still can't believe what happened at Mugello for sure. It's the best weekend I ever had in motorcycle racing, and looking to repeat that here at Sachsenring. It's not a circuit I know well, and it's a very tough circuit, very technical, and I'm sure the team will provide me another fantastic bike to ride, just like in Jerez, and I expect us to be right up there again, be top 5, and see what happens. We got a great team, great support again from all around the world, and I expect us to have a great weekend. I've seen it's raining, but that's going to be hard for everyone. So maybe that even will even out the playing field a bit for us, and so we can take advantage of that and be top 5, maybe even challenge for a podium again. I don't expect to challenge for the win, but yeah, if we do challenge for the win, I'll be ecstatic, of course.
So Camelot was in buoyant mood ahead of his third outing in the Moto3 World Championship. It was first time back on the Cadets KTM, which he rode to victory in the Italian motorcycle Grand Prix ahead of Lewis Salom in only his second outing in the Grand Prix World Championship. And so they go to the Sachsenring circuit, a very technical circuit and a much harder challenge than the circuits that Camelot had ridden on previously this season. It is very technical, and you can expect lots of falls during the weekend and maybe a few in the race as well. It is hard on the tyres and it is hard on the riders, and with wet weather forecast for the weekend, you can expect it to be a very tough race as well. And to talk about the Sachsenring circuit and qualifying in the race, of course we hand over to Alex Piccioni.
The Sachsenring circuit in eastern Germany is the venue for round 8 of the Moto3 World Championship. It's a very technical circuit built in the 90s after formerly having a road and street course through the surrounding villages. But as you can see, Danny Pedrosa has the lap record of 1:21.8, and it's a very short circuit, under 4 kilometers long. But as you can see, it is mostly made up of right-hand turns, and this is going to be the first overtaking hotspot is into turn 1, the first right-hander, where you have a very long front straight and you can really dive down the inside into that first turn. Then zone 2 is perhaps the longest and hardest corner on the circuit, as you almost horseshoe around there and you can really dive down the inside. Then down outside the back straight, where it's very fast and it is very tricky in the wet conditions of this race, where you can maybe see riders have a few troubles. And into the penultimate corner is zone 4, where you can really make an overtake and move over the crest of the hill and get a run on your rival and up the hill into that turn. And in the final turn, zone 5, it's again a great corner to make an overtake and move as you go up the hill and onto the front straight. And that is the Sachsenring circuit in eastern Germany, a very difficult circuit, and it didn't upset Camelot though, as he qualified in 5th position once again. It seems to be his position in qualifying Moto3 World Championship this season, as Rins was on pole from Salom, Vinales and Folger. Then Camelot, Oliveira, Vasquez was in 7th, and Arthur Sistis for Australia completed the top 10. Corridon was 11th, Danny Webb 13th, and Turley 14th. Isaac Vinales completed the top 15. As we now look forward to this Moto3 race in the wet conditions, it's going to be a very tricky race for these young riders, and there's a bit of a wind going northerly, and it could really affect the riders in the braking zone for turn 1. So look for them maybe a couple riders to go wide as Camelot gets a very slow start away in his third wildcard appearance in the Moto3 World Championship round season of 2013 as he goes into turn 1, and he really is very cautious as riders just bully him down to 10th position as we go into the second corner, and he's back down to 11th even as he nooks down the inside through this horseshoe bend, very tricky bend, and he's gone wide and he's getting overtaken again. He's down to 12th. He is really dropping down the order as he has never really driven a motorcycle bike in these conditions apart from this weekend, and now he's being pushed back down to 13th position as Ijo is right behind him and there's good battling right behind him, as well as Camelot now goes into the second part of the circuit, the fast part of the circuit, as we go through some sweeping left hand bends and kind of blind crest bends as well. As you can see here, you can't really see the apex here, but it looks like Camelot is carrying some confidence, carrying some speed. The tyres up the temperature a bit as Rins gets past Vinales up to second, but Salom leads this race. And look at Camelot, a sweeping beautiful move out of that right hander over the hill, and he's making his way back up the order into 5th position, but he is running wide in that penultimate corner as Vasquez, he was the rider he had passed, as now he goes into the final corner of the end of the first lap. We have still got 6 more of these after this lap, as this is quite a long race lap wise, but a very short lap in time wise, as we are just over 1 minute 30 complete this lap in the wet on these Moto3 World Championship bikes, as Salom leads from Wins, Vinales and Volga, and look how cautious Camelot is into turn 1. It is a bit like Mugello all over again, as now we've got Marquez past Vasquez here for 8th position, and Karudin is now past Vasquez as the rider is now dropping back, as Marquez has got past Camelot into that first turn, and it looks like Camelot is now dropping back as well in the second part of this first sector of the lap. But in the second sector of this lap and the last half of this lap, where the track is very fast, and it's like Camelot has got his bike set up very well for that part of the circuit, as we got more fighting back as Webb and Ijo fight further down the field, and now Vasquez is in front in 8th, but Camelot is past him. Camelot is past him, and he's up to 8th position. He's up to 7th position. Look how great this bike is, as he gives a nudge. He gives a nudge to his old rival Alex Marquez. I'm sure they will like to talk about that after the race, as Marquez is lining up a move to get into the top 5. As he goes towards the penultimate corner, Marquez is through, but Camelot is even braver as he goes past Oliveira and Marquez in up to 5th position. As you can see, even if you outbrake yourself a bit, you can use the camber to go wide and then get on the power early, and then it's like Camelot has used that well, and he's up into the top 5 as now we go down towards the start finish line and onto that 3. But it looks like Marquez has got a better run out of that final corner, is back up into the top 5, and Folger in 4th, Vins in 3rd, Vinales in 3rd, Rins in 2nd, and Salom in 1st. As Camelot runs wide in the first corner, he's outbraked himself as Vinales does the fast out of the race under the 1 minute 30 barrier. And no, Camelot is down. Camelot is down. Is he okay? No, the marshals have done a brilliant job from the marshals here as they get him up quickly, and Camelot doesn't even drop out of the points. He's only down to 14th position. Brilliant job from the marshals there to get this Monaco rider back on the bike and get him going again as we go through the left-handers and now go onto the part of the circuit where Camelot is going to be charging. He is going to be angry about that spin, going to be angry about that contact. We just don't know if his bike is damaged, even if he is hurt after that clash. But it looks like he's riding well, and it looks like he's closing on Binder in front, the South African rider who we haven't seen much of this season, but he seems to be fighting for the lower points places. And it looks like Camelot is getting to know his bike very well through that left-hander, and now through the righty. He's got a great drive and he's back up to 12th, back up to 13th position. He's looking at 12th position though, into this penultimate corner as no, he's hit Owama. He has to apologise for that shortly after the race. That is a big hit into Owama. I don't know if the Dutch rider just braked earlier and cannot anticipate it, but it looks like the Dutch rider is out of this race. As now we've got a Binder, I believe, that is back past Camelot and up into 12th position, and indeed it is Binder, the South African rider, as he goes down the inside. Camelot, he's back down the inside up to 12th, but they are fighting hard as Binder swats back on him now into the left-hander. Can Camelot make a move into the horseshoe. It looks like he can. He's back up to 12th position, and he's got Britain's Danny Webb in front. Danny Webb, of course, from Britain. We expect him to be a good in the rain, as the Britons normally are, as Camelot now runs into this left-hander. It looks like he's more confident on the bike now. It doesn't look like it was damage after that incident on the last lap into the penultimate corner when he hit a rider. Thankfully, it looks like the rider is okay, though, as he goes into this sweeping left-hander where he seems to gain a lot of time on the riders in front, and it looks like he's gained time on Webb. Goes down his inside and up to 11th position. Great motorcycling from this young rider as you go into the right-hander now. And remember, Camelot, the only winner of a Moto3 race this season, apart from Rins, Vinales or Salom, as he goes past Ijo and into the top 10, into 9th, into 8th, as he almost goes over. But Camelot stays on. He won't get the drive out of that corner as Vasquez is down. Is Vasquez okay? It looks like Vasquez is okay. Vasquez is fine, but it looks like he has been hit again by Camelot. Camelot has been very busy this race, as Vinales does the fast out of the race, but it's still Salom who leads the race from Rins. Volga in 4th, and Alex Marquez having a brilliant race in 5th. The Spanish rider, the rival of Kevin Camelot last season, really showing his worth in his wet conditions in Germany in round 8 of the Moto3 World Championship, as we're on lap 5. And now Camelot is trying to catch the Australian in front. I do apologise, I've been calling him Spanish in previous races, but he is very much Australian, and it looks like Camelot is very much catching the man from down under in front of him as he now go on to the back part of this circuit. The fast left-handers, the fast corners that it seems like Camelot's bike is more set up for, as he really does gain time. And the guys in front of him, he's really gaining time and assistance. And look at that aggressive move from Camelot. He is really using all of the track. He's really charging back after those couple of mistakes on the last lap and the previous lap before that, as he's really charging through the field up to 8th position. But it looks like there's a gap in front of him. He's got some work to do in these last few laps, as he's got just under a 2-second gap to Oliveira in front, but he's already gained over a second on Zissis behind him. As Vinales makes the move, Vinales up to 2nd ahead of Rins. That was bound to be coming, as Vinales has been very fast this race, the Maverick from Spain, as he does another fastest out the race, a 1:29.432, but it's still Salom leading. But now he's got the charging Spaniard behind him in 2nd, ahead of Rins, Volga and Marquez in 5th, and Kararudian in 6th for Oliveira. And here's Camelot charging up to the back of the Portuguese rider, as Camelot does the fastest out of the race, a brilliant 1:28.7. He's really straining the neck of this bike, really wrangling it around this circuit, and really showing that he has got pace, not just in dry conditions such as in Mugello in his last race where he won in his 2nd start in this class, but also in the wet conditions here in Germany, as the sun is starting to shine a bit as well. The rain seems to have been easing in these last few laps, as we're on the penultimate lap of the race, and now we're in the favourite section for Camelot, as he now gains on Oliveira. Is he going to make a move into the left-hander again? He is. He's up to 7th position. A brilliant move from Camelot, and now he goes over the hill in this left-hander. Can he make another move before the end of this lap, as he is really gaining hard on the Malaysian rider in front on the KTM? And look at this, the Alex KTM gets past its cousin there, and look at this riding from Camelot. He is charging very hard. He is really showing how good he is in these conditions, as he is fighting for top 5 now with his old rival Alex Marquez in front, as you go into the penultimate corner, or the final corner of the race now on the penultimate lap. As now we go on to the final lap of the race, Salom just leads from Vinales and Rins. The top 3 have pulled away from the rest, and they are really battling hard on this final lap of the race, as Volga is in 4th, and we got Marquez in 5th, just over a second ahead of Camelot, who's half a second ahead of Kararudian behind him. Oliveira in 8th, Zislis in 9th, and look at that, Camelot pushing hard again with another fast out of the race, another 1:27.8, and he is really being consistent and fast. That will surely impress Team Bosses, and hopefully get this Monaco rider a ride maybe for next season, and another one for this season, as we go through the left-hander. And now we get into his favourite part of this circuit, as he didn't drop back too much from Marquez, and it looks like he improved a lot in that first part of the race, as now he gains on Marquez. He's gaining on the Spaniard in front. He's less than a second behind, and now he's going to really gain through this left-hander and really get a run on the Spaniard as he charges up to the backside of this. No, he's got past him. He's got past Marquez. He's up to 5th position, and maybe he's even charging for 4th as he is really pushing hard as we go towards the penultimate corner of this race. Folger just over a second ahead. Oh no, Camelot down again, Camelot down, and that was the end of his race. That was the end of his race. The Solomon just won from Vinales, Rins, Folger in 4th, Alex Marquez and Hertz 5th, Karudin, Olivier Assistis and Ajo in 9th. Great ride from the Finnish rider. Danny Webb in 10th. It says Camelot was in 14th, but we're informed he did not get back on his bike. He was out of the race after that heavy crash in the heading towards the penultimate corner of the race. A disappointing end to a charging ride from the young rider. Back to you, Philippe. What a race that was.
A very disappointing end to a spectacular charge through the field from Kevin Camelot, and we caught up to him after the race.
Yeah, I'm disappointed for the team. You know, RW Racing gave me another chance with the team, and I just let them down. And I didn't get the qualifying lap together that we wanted. The bike was again brilliant from the team, and I messed up. I messed up in qualifying. I made a few mistakes, but we still qualified high up. We again didn't get the start we wanted, but then the pace wasn't quite there in the first part of the race. I made a mistake. We were fighting hard, and I tried my hardest for the rest of the race. Really charged through the field using all the track, and sometimes beyond that. And then on the last lap, just made a move. I was catching Folger, I think I was. Oh, Folger. I'm sorry, Jonas. But I then, I just made a mistake. I took too much curb and the bike just went down. I don't know why on the time, and it showed me in the points at the end. But yeah, I couldn't get the bike going again after that. It's too damaged, too high speed. And yeah, I'm just so disappointed for the team, for RW Racing, for the support around the world. You're just brilliant for me, and I'm sure you're going to try and pick me up. You've been trying to pick me up since the end of the race all around the world, and I can't thank you enough for that support. And yeah, we should be back for the season finale in Valencia, so you can look for me there to try and again be up there, make up for this mistake, because this wasn't good enough for me from this weekend. And it's going to be tough. It's always learning every weekend in this Grand Prix racing. And yeah, this weekend I just found it very tough. And Sachsenring, it's a tough circuit, and with the rain, I found it very hard. And in Valencia it's a circuit I'm more familiar with, so we expect to do much better there. But yeah, I'm just disappointed for the team, and for everyone involved. We should have got a very good result here again, just like in Noes. So I'll be doing that in Spain. See you then.
A bitterly disappointed Kevin Camelot with his result from the German motorcycling Grand Prix. But we know the young Monegasque rider will return to the championship for the season finale at the Valencia circuit in Spain. And we could still have a three-way tussle between 3 Spanish riders going to that season finale. Maverick Vinales, Alex Rins and Lewis Sadom have so far been inseparable halfway through the season, and it looks like that could continue for the second half of this year. And so Kevin Camelot could prove to be a good wildcard rider to throw into the title mix. And of course MotoMonaco will be there to follow the rider in his 4th Moto3 World Championship outing. But before then, there's still half a season to go. Next time out, the MotoGP class will be the only class at the Laguna Seca circuit in America. And then the following week, Moto2 and Moto3 return with MotoGP to the 3rd and final American round at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Indiana. And so till the Laguna Seca round next week, goodbye, au revoir.